interviews. Mohammed Rai will be speaking to Mr. Stembiso Mnisi in the next minute. Stay tuned.
Thank you, Azar. Joining us on the air is Mr. Imnisi. He is the communication manager at the Legal Practice Council. Welcome to the show, Mr. Imnisi. How are you doing this morning?
Good morning, Mohammed. Thank you for the opportunity. I'm doing well.
Thank you for joining us, Mr. Imnisi. So the Legal Practice Council has sent out a notice to all interested parties that the council intends to amend the rules of the council relating to candidate attorneys and pupils, making it or prohibiting law firms and principal advocates to, to make it a misconduct on their part to require applicants, be it candidate attorneys um, or those that are signing up for pupils to be in possession of a valid driver's license or even to possess a vehicle. So why is this and where is this coming from, Mr. Imnisi?
Thank you once more for the opportunity. Now, the Legal Practice Council has received quite a number of concerns from different candidate attorneys and pupils since last year. It was then set into our transformation committee. We received quite a lot of concerns from those candidates, speaking about this practice of prospective candidate legal practitioners having to require or to be in possession of a driver's license or own a vehicle. The council believes that this practice is anti-transformative and it prejudices persons from disadvantaged backgrounds, which are a majority in the country. So we are looking to amend these rules promulgated under the Act to prevent this practice.
Mr. Imnisi, is it just if the rules do go ahead and the rules are amended, is it simply going to be a case where the law firms and principal advocates will be prohibited from advertising that a prospective applicant should possess a valid driver's license or should possess a vehicle, or is it going to go all the way through where it is in fact going to be invalid to inquire that from the applicant? It's going to be invalid and prohibited from mentioning this in the particular contract.
So the idea of us amending the rules is to make sure that such requirements are then viewed as a misconduct. An attorney or a candidate who's seeking employ must refrain even from stipulating it in an advertisement as a requirement, because the work that the illegal candidate attorney is expected to do is not too much linked in whether they are able to drive or not. So for now, we would like to make sure that those rules are amended so that it opens the space for more candidate legal practice attorneys who we are seeking to amend this so that every legal practice firm or principal who is looking to hire a candidate practitioner must refrain even from using this in how they advertise their posts. What we have noticed is that most of them would inquire this a car with driver's license, and then that acts as an exclusion already. So when we amend the rules, we want to make sure that the rules are clear that such will be viewed as a misconduct, and then candidate practitioners and peoples then have an access to approach the legal practice council directly to say we are finding that legal firms are continuing to demand that we have driver's license or vehicles before they hire us, and then we will view that as a misconduct. That's the big push for us to amend that particular section of the rules.
I must say, Nisi, I understand that it's going to be quite simple for, your big firms, for example, Cliff Decker or Weber Wenzel, because they have these, they're in a position where they can afford to send their candidate attorneys through these online hailing taxi services, including Uber and others. But what happens to these small to medium law firms? They don't have these facilities. How then are they going to manage to, for example, hire an applicant who is not in possession of a vehicle or even a driver's license?
The council is opening it's open to engage with all legal firms or practitioners or principals. Hence, we have opened this for a 30-day comments from the. So we will take all those views from the different legal firms, the big ones and the small ones, and then ultimately the decisions that we will take to amend the rules would be in line with what the comments that we have received are. However, I have to say that the council is open to engaging with the legal firms to make sure that the legal sector or the legal profession in South Africa is transformed. And then you can't then say someone who is qualified, who is the LLP, who has done all the courses that they were supposed to be doing, and now they can't get employment just because they can't access a driver's license. We have to mitigate how that is done. We are open for ideas on in other ways in which we can make sure that pupils or candidate attorneys also get some sort of assistance in them getting driver's licenses. So that is part of the whole process that we are trying to do. I think in the long run, we will find a common ground between ourselves and the professions in terms of how do we then increase that access of more people who are from disadvantaged backgrounds to come into the legal profession and be able to do the work that they've studied for, they are trained for, and they are intending to do. So it's one of the many ways. So we are open to engagement. We expect that the public or the legal firms will send through those comments. We are already receiving some, and some are for it, and some are against it. And we will have to weigh that process. And it's a transparent process where people would be able to then approach us after. Should we amend the rules or not amend the rules? We will have engage the profession to make sure that we get their views. We can't apply it as a blanket thing that we can just do and say, now this is against the law. We have gazetted it, and we want the profession, including the candidate attorneys and the pupils, to comment as well. And then we will then take a decision from there on. But it's important for us to acknowledge that this we've been receiving a lot of complaint on. This is hence we then decided to amend the rules. It was not just something that we thought ourselves. The candidate attorneys as well as the peoples have been writing to us, have been indicating to us that I'm qualified, I've done everything, I've written my admissions and everything, and now the challenge is I can't get in because they say I don't have a driver's license, and I believe I'm able to do the work. That's part of what we are trying to engage in.
It surely is a right direction in the step towards decolonizing the legal field. Finally, Mr. Mnisi, you mentioned that the comments are still welcomed by the Legal Practice Council, by relevant parties. How can people get hold of you, and how can they forward their respective comments to the Legal Practice Council?
People can send their comments to this email, rules@lpc.org.za. They can also contact us. Our number is 010-001-8500. And we will be able to assist them in terms of how they can do that. We also have a website, www.lpc.org.za. We are available on Facebook. It's Legal Practice Council. We are also on Twitter @Council Practice. We welcome all the views, and we hope that the engagement between us and the profession will result in us making sure that our rules fit where the profession is and where it's going, and that more people have access to the profession.
Thank you for your time, Mr. Mnisi. That was the communication manager at the Legal Practice Council. Now, the Legal Practice Council is or has sent out a notice to all relevant parties to, passing its intention to amend the rules of the council relating to candidate attorneys as well as pupils in order to prohibit law firms as well as principal advocates from requiring their applicants or prospective employees from possessing a driver's license or even a vehicle.